out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy at Crossover MMA. This Saturday, November 23rd, is UFC Macau. This will be my main card breakdown. Most of the prelims are road to the UFC finales. I already know I'm going to destroy all the fighters' names on the prelims, so I'm not going to do that. So let's get right into it. Opening up the main card, we have Zhang Mingyang versus Ozzy Diaz. Zhang is 26 years old, 17-6. He's on a 10-fight win streak, where he last fought 9 months ago, where he KO'd Deiveson Figueiredo. He's 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. He lands 9.23 significant strikes per minute, which is absurd. Absorbs 6.39, which is also a lot. He has a 74% finish rate, and he's also a minus 305 favorite. Ozzy Diaz is 34 years old, 9-2. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He last fought 6 months ago, where he won by. He's 6'4" with a 75.5-inch reach. He lands 1.65 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.91, and he has an 82% finish rate, and he's a plus 240 underdog. Both guys have big KO power. Both guys also have been knocked out. We're going back to the old gloves that used to be the new gloves, so that might affect the KOs a little bit on this card, but we are going to find out. Zhang doesn't have the best head movement. He also fights with that kill or be killed mentality, which I'm all for entertainment wise. He also hasn't made it out of the first round during his 10-fight win streak, which is crazy. Diaz will be making his UFC debut. Some of you may remember him from his fight against Joe Pyfer on Dana White's Contender Series, where he lost by KO. Make sure you are ready to go at the start of this fight. Someone is getting knocked out in a hurry. I'm gonna go with Zhang by KO, but I wouldn't be shocked if Diaz won by KO as well. Next fight, we have Volkan Oezdemir versus Carlos Ulberg. Volkan Oezdemir is 35 years old, 20-7. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Last fought 4 months ago, where he KO'd Johnny Walker. Volkan Oezdemir is 6'2" with a 75-inch reach. He lands 4.79 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.96. He has a 56% finish rate, and he's a plus 210 underdog. Carlos Ulberg is 34 years old, 10-1. He's on a 6-fight win streak. Last fought 6 months ago, when he KO'd Alonzo Menifield in like 12 seconds. Ulberg is 6'4" with a 77-inch reach. He lands 7.41 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.6. He has a 75% finish rate, and he's a minus 260 favorite. This is a #1 contender fight. Volkan is ranked 8th. Ulberg is ranked 10th. Khalil Roundtree just got a title shot from the 8th spot. So a win here puts either one of these guys in a great spot for a title shot after Magomed Ankalaev. Volkan Oezdemir is a plotter that's going to stand right in front of Carlos Ulberg. Ulberg really uses his footwork. He fights well off the back foot. Volkan's going to need to lure Ulberg into a dirty fight that becomes a war. Ulberg is the more technical striker and will use his reach and his speed to fight at range. Volkan will have to not get frustrated early in the fight, because I think he's going to have a little trouble getting to Ulberg early in the fight. And Volkan's just going to have to chip away slowly, using leg kicks, jabs, and just try and stay in Ulberg's face. But Ulberg will be on his bike circling, so it is going to be pretty tough. Ulberg's going to use that crisp jab he has, feints, leg kicks, just to keep Volkan at range. If Volkan overextends trying to get to Ulberg, Ulberg's definitely going to catch him with a big left hook of his, and that's what he puts guys down with. If Ulberg sticks to his game plan and doesn't fall into the trap of slugging it out with Volkan, I think he's going to get a decision win or a late TKO. Next fight, we have Wayne Kong versus Gabriela Fernandez. Wayne Kong is 32 years old, 6-0. Last fought 2 months ago, where she starched Victoria Leonardo in the first round. One of the best WMMA KOs you'll see. Wayne is 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. She lands 7.07 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 0.73. She has a 67% finish rate, and she's a minus 650 favorite. Gabriella is 31 years old, 9-3. She's coming off a win against Carly Judas 5 months ago. Gabriella is 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. She lands 3.73 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 5.56. She has a 42% finish rate, and she's a plus 470 underdog. Wayne Kung is a technical striker with legit one-punch KO power in her right hand. Her kicks are fast as well. She's not afraid to wrestle at all. She averages 3.66 takedowns per 15 minutes and also averages 7.32 submissions per 15 minutes. I think she's going to get a speed run to the title shot if she keeps winning. She already has a win over the champion Valentina Shevchenko in kickboxing, so there's already a storyline built in. I think this is really going to be a showcase for her in Macau. So I'm picking her win by KO. Next fight, we have Song Kanan versus Muslim Salikov. Song Kanan is 34 years old, 22-8. He's coming off a decision win against Ricky Glenn 3 months ago at UFC 305. Kanan is 6 feet with a 71.5-inch reach. He lands 4.57 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 5.84. He has a 60% finish rate, and he's a plus 140 underdog. Muslim Salikov is 40 years old, 20-5, coming off a decision win against Santiago Ponzinibbio 4 months ago. Salikov is 5'11" with a 70-inch reach. He lands 3.32 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 2.92, has a 60% finish rate, and he's a minus 165 favorite. Both guys are plotters. They're going to be standing right in front of each other. Song Kanan does get hit a lot, and I don't like that at all. Salikov is 40 years old. That is a number you can't ignore. I think this is going to be a very competitive fight, and that honestly is going to make it entertaining. Salikov's age is starting to show a little bit, but Kanan's striking defense just isn't the greatest, as his head movement has been an issue of his for a while now. This is a tough pick, but I'm going to go with the underdog here, Song Kanan, by decision. Just Muslim Salikov's age being 40, just can't really ignore it. In the co-main event, we have Yan Xiaonan versus Tabitha Ritchie. Yan Xiaonan is 35 years old, 18-4. She's on a one-fight skid where she lost to Wei Li Zhang 7 months ago at UFC 300. Yan Xiaonan is 5'5" with a 63-inch reach. She lands 4.97 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.66. She has a 41% finish rate, and she's a minus 205 favorite. Tabitha Ritchie is 29 years old, 11-2. She's on a 2-fight winning streak. Last fought Angela Hill 2 months ago. Tabitha Ritchie's 5'1" with a 61-inch reach. She lands 4.63 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 5.3. She has a 31% finish rate. She also lands 3 takedowns per 15 minutes, and she's a plus 170 underdog. Even though Yan Xiaonan lost her last fight, she showed a lot of toughness, heart, and grit. Tabitha Ritchie had to dig deep in her last fight against Angela Hill as well, as it was a very close fight. Yan Xiaonan has fast hands and uses her footwork very well. Uriah Favorite will have a good game plan for her, and she stays composed. Tabitha Ritchie's striking defense is something I think she'll need to do a better job with if she wants to have more success. I like that she's fighting a bit more aggressive and fighting to win as opposed to fighting not to lose. But I think this is a bit too soon for her to go to the front of the line, and I'm gonna go with Yan Xiaonan by decision here. Tabitha Ritchie's striking defense and lack of head movement, for me, I just think it's gonna get her in trouble here with Yan Xiaonan having the fast hands. Before we get to the main event, like the video. It helps me reach more people. Subscribe to the channel. In the main event, we have Petr Yan versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Petr Yan is 31 years old, 17-5, coming off a decision win over Song Yadong at UFC 299 8 months ago. Petr Yan is 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. He lands 5.14 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 4.36. He lands 1.73 takedowns per 15 minutes. He has a 36% finish rate, and he's a minus 340 favorite. Deiveson Figueiredo is 36 years old, 24-3-1. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, coming off a decision win over Marlon Chito Vera 3 months ago. Deiveson Figueiredo is 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. He lands 3.01 significant strikes per minute, absorbs 3.39. He also lands 1.68 takedowns per 15 minutes. He has a 64% finish rate, and he's a plus 265 underdog. I think this is going to be a really good chess match between two elite fighters. Figueiredo's won 3 fights in a row since moving up to bantamweight. Both guys have been fighting really good fighters the last 4 years. Petr Yan is known to be a slow starter to download data on his opponents. Figgy, since coming up to bantamweight, has been using his grappling and his wrestling much more than he did at flyweight. And it's been a very nice addition and a nice wrinkle for Figgy. I think on the feet, this is just going to be a chess match. I think both guys are going to have success. Yan never really overcommits. He's always balanced and has so many different skills. His boxing and his use of combinations are just nasty. Figgy fights at a slightly slower pace than Yan, and his power does translate at bantamweight as he dropped Chito Vera in his last fight, and Chito Vera has a granite chin. I don't think Figgy's grappling is going to catch Yan off guard, as Figgy has been using it so much in his fights lately. I honestly just can't wait for this matchup, but ultimately, I'm going to go with Petr Yan by decision. I think this fight's going to be a treat. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 400 subscribers before the end of the year. It's a small goal, but it's my goal. Questions, comments, feedback is always appreciated. And as always, until next time.